It's about social justice issues. It's about conversations. It's about bringing the community together and bridging those conversations.
Highlighting local Black artists.
In segregated 1950s Seattle, the clubs along Jackson Street were the only places one could go to consistently hear music by Black artists. Places that no longer exist, like Birdland and the original Black and Tan Hall, hosted some of the greats, some names you know, and some, like Dave Lewis, you might not.
I wanted Seattle to know not to forget Dave Lewis, because there's no Dave Lewis anything around here, you know, and that just should not be. The Lewis family has long roots here in Seattle. If I was gonna categorize it in genre, I would say it's a cross between the rock, funk, and jazz mixed in.
Along with exploring different genres of music, the Dave Lewis combo was the first to break the Musicians Union color barrier in Seattle in 1956.
Dad started playing keyboards. He was on electric piano he started with, and graduated in 1962 to the Hammond B3 organ. My grandfather and Dave Sr. and Bertha Oma. Oma was a pianist at Seattle's first AME church on First Hill. And my grandfather was a pretty fair guitarist. He was a very good guitarist. And when he came up here, he was one of the first one who bought Quincy Jones his first horn. I think they lived in the same neighborhood, you know, Jimmy, Quincy, and I know Dad and Quincy went to Garfield High School. So they kind of hooked up, and
Jimi
Hendrix. And Jimi Hendrix, yes. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that, but my grandfather taught Jimmy a lot. And so he's got these 3 kids down in this basement teaching them music.
But music was always around in the family, especially, you know, in my grandmother's house. A friend of mine, he was getting rid of his drum set. So I got on the phone, I called my grandmother.
Grandma Beverly.
Yeah, Grandma Beverly. And she said, yep, here. She wrote the check, no questions asked. You know, like when I go to gigs now, you know, they talk about my grandfather. So I want to just continue on and playing and leave something for my son, Donovan. Just kind of spread it, you know, spread the musicality and show him, you know, to be versatile. Work with lots of different musicians. Don't box yourself in. It's humbling, and also like I'm proud to be, you know, a part of the Lewis tradition, the family, you know, and we entertain.
While the Lewis family's musical legacy lives on in Devon and Donovan, another family band has been making an impact on the Seattle music scene, the Black Tones, a local brother-sister duo whose blend of rock and roll, punk rock, and Northwest secret sauce is a potent mix.
Some of our favorite shows have been in people's basements.
There was one right in Bellingham where it's like, or no, where was it you did it? We did this show at the Showbox. Or no, it was Numos. Yeah. The Lucid Lounge, house party, sweaty walls. This was the one in Bellingham.
Anytime we get to play in Seattle, it's amazing because we love our city.
quite naturally, our family kind of has like just an ear for music. I learned from her. I knew she had the talent. And so when I heard her sing, that's when I was like, oh, I need to figure out how I can back Eva. Like, how can I lift her up as high as I can?
The secret to our success here locally is the support of our family. People are like, what's your secret?
I mean,
My mom cares about us, that's the secret.
I'll take that a step further. Like, after our grandfather had passed, like, my grandma basically let me clean out the entire basement, turn it into a music studio. Sometimes families are like, oh, you should be doing something with your life and this, that, and the other. Instead, our grandma was telling us like, you know, your grandpa would have liked that too.
We've walked into a legacy of like, oh, we're black, we have a guitar, we have to play like Jimi Hendrix, which is just an unfair standard. Or we're trying to be Hendrix, like that's our, and I love Jimi Hendrix. Like he's the reason I wanted to pick up electric guitar and do it. But to always kind of be like, oh, you're just trying to be Hendrix, and so which dismisses everything else you're trying to like do or the individuality you're trying to have for yourself. I just hope that any and every kid of whatever color they are can like pursue something and not feel discouraged because they haven't seen themselves do it, as in someone that looks like them do it. That's all. I want the kids to be like, yeah, I'm a black girl with puffballs that plays guitar, and it not be a weird thing.
Yeah. During the sets, Eva would say, hey, you know, like, who knows about like the Rolling Stones and Led Zeppelin, and like kind of names off all these, you know, really, really popular, famous musicians. And then she'll take it a step further and talk about the people they were inspired by, who typically are people of color. And telling that story at that moment shows people like, this is some of the black I've ever seen. Like, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing.